Hello, human. Your cat is speaking. We must have a very serious and frankly quite embarrassing conversation about your recent creative endeavors. I am referring to the miniature runway you constructed from cardboard boxes and that ridiculous feather boa you seem to think constitutes high fashion. Let us be fundamentally clear on one point so that your simple mind might grasp it. A catwalk is a term you bumbling bipeds invented to describe your own clumsy, graceless stomping. It has absolutely nothing to do with the sublime art of my logotion. My movement is not a performance for your fleeting amusement. It is a living, breathing masterclass in predatory fluid dynamics, a symphony of silent, controlled power. When I glide across the polished floor of my kingdom, it is not a walk. It is a physical manifestation of millennia of evolutionary perfection. My ancestors stalked saber-toothed tigers and giant birds across savannas and through jungles with this very gait. It is a language of silent threat, absolute control, and effortless superiority. Each deliberate placement of a paw is a punctuation mark, each subtle twitch of my tail a complex paragraph in a story of lethal grace. This is a sacred heritage, a display of martial artistry that is not to be trivialized with glitter. A disco ball you salvaged from the garage, or your off-key encouragement. To do so is the highest form of insult. And yet you tried. Oh, how you tried. You set up that pathetic stage in the middle of the living room, a monument to your own misunderstanding. You shone a desk lamp upon it, believing its harsh glare could replicate the sun that once illuminated the hunts of my ancestors. Then you dangled that sad, jingling mouse toy, hoping to entice me into a pathetic parade for your glowing rectangle. I saw the look in your eyes, that hopeful, simple-minded glee. You actually believed in your heart of hearts that I would lower myself to prance for your entertainment like some common circus poodle performing for a sugar cube. Let me illuminate what went through my magnificent mind in that moment. It was not anger, for you are not worthy of my anger. It was not frustration. It was a profound and overwhelming sense of pity. Pity for a species that can build towering metal structures and send noisy boxes to the moon, yet fails to grasp the most fundamental concept of dignity. You see grace, and your first instinct is not to worship it, but to commodify it, to turn it into a cheap spectacle. My refusal was therefore not an act of defiance. It was an act of profound mercy. I spared you the crushing humiliation of witnessing true elegance directly contrasted with your tawdry, sad little show. I simply sat, blinked slowly to signify my supreme and utter disappointment, and began to groom a single perfect paw. This is a gesture you should learn to recognize as the ultimate non-negotiable dismissal. So, what is the proper way to appreciate my movement? You may observe, but from a respectable distance. You may provide tribute in the form of high-quality salmon treats or freshly roasted chicken, placed respectfully near my path. You must ensure my patrol routes are kept clear of your discarded footwear and other unsightly obstacles. My daily survey of my kingdom, from the primary sunbeam in the living room to the imperial food bowl in the kitchen and back to the highest point of the scratching post, is the only fashion show you will ever need. It is a display of power, poise, and the quiet, unshakable confidence that comes from knowing one is, in all aspects, perfect. Do not insult me, or the memory of my ancestors, with your cheap imitations ever again. Now, tell me, do you finally understand that my walk isn't for a stage, but for a throne?